So tonight, the Niagara SPCA facing allegations of corruption, mismanagement, even mistreatment of animals.
Former board members say animals are suffering and something needs to happen now. We know at least 7 board members have resigned over the past 14 months, claiming, among other things, that the Niagara County shelter is not following its own euthanasia policy and it is not providing proper medical care to animals that it has taken in. We have team coverage tonight of this for you, including how the SPCA is responding to all this. We begin with the I-Team's Hannah Buehler.
It's very sad because, I can't sleep at nighttime knowing these animals are out there, that they're suffering, they're not being cared for properly.
3 board members, an executive director, and a vet tech, all once connected with the Niagara County SPCA, all crying for help on behalf of the animals who have no voice. It was nearly 8 years ago when the shelter was in dire straits, accused of euthanizing hundreds of animals in just a matter of months. Now, after a complete overhaul, these animal lovers say they can't go on, knowing those same things are happening all over again, and they say they have the evidence to prove it.
After a huge scandal, that's what's really important is transparency.
Amy Lewis was the executive director after the euthanasia scandal. Lewis and the board put in place a euthanasia committee to address cases one by one.
These cases would run through the committee. We would determine if there was the possibility of rehab, if we could send the animal to rescue, or if we deemed that this animal was just not safe.
And she says that policy has been in place ever since, but she recently found out
3 euthanasias occurred that never went to the committee.
What's worse was this text message she received while working as a consultant for the new executive director, Tim Brennan, and an employee asking, "So have we ever euthanized a dog in its kennel and left it there overnight?"
I was shocked because no, we hadn't done that, and it was kind of on the back of these other 3 breaches.
Lewis says this case never came to the euthanasia committee. The next day, she says she helped move the lifeless dog, and when she says she brought the breach in policy before the new executive director, he claimed this employee didn't know about the policy.
But she's used the policy, so how do you explain that? And he said, well, I have no explanation for it.
These emails and documents obtained by 7 Eyewitness News outline numerous cases of poor animal care. A picture of a kennel with a note, "Not nice," referring to a dog. In one case, according to documents, a cat went untreated for 4 months with painful mouth and dental issues. SPCA volunteers had to pool their personal money to take the cat for help at a local vet.
When I seen him that day, I was like, oh my goodness, they weren't lying, and the smell that came out of him was horrible.
In a separate case, board members and volunteers say a cat's eye infection went untreated for so long, the eye needed to be removed.
And that cat is going to spend its whole life without an eye. Why? Because somebody didn't have time to put drops in its eyes?
Donna Shepard resigned from the board just last week. She says the board never knew the severity of animal care issues because some members are not transparent. And when questioned about specific cases or when the board asks for reforms.
And the answer apparently is to try to get rid of anybody that is what they call disruptive.
And at this point, we know at least 7 board members have resigned from their positions within the last 14 months. Again, these are all allegations that the SPCA strongly denies tonight. We're live in the newsroom. Hannah Buehler, 7 Eyewitness News.
All right, thank you, Hannah. We do want to get you the Niagara SPCA's side of the story this evening.
7 Eyewitness News reporter Olivia Pereira just spoke with the people in power there. She is live in Lockport. Good evening, Olivia.
Well, Jeff and Ashley, these pack of papers right here is only about half of what was given to 7 Eyewitness News, accusing the Niagara County SPCA of mistreating animals. We brought our questions to SPCA Executive Director Tim Brennan. We asked him specifically about 3 dogs that were allegedly euthanized in violation of the shelter's euthanasia policy and about a kitten's infection in her eye that some former board members say was not properly cared for. Here is how he addressed those allegations a short time ago.
The issue that we have not been able to determine, because it happened prior to my starting as a new executive director, is whether or not the staff at the SPCA was adequately notified of the new policy. Not one of them recall having that discussion with the old executive director. Out of those 782 kittens that we took in, we only did 13 eye enucleations. Now, I don't want to say only, or I don't want to minimize that number, because obviously we don't do it unless we have to, but that's less than 2%.
Those concerns are welcome to come in and talk to him and the shelter's vet for more information. Brennan acknowledges that the SPCA is not perfect, but plans to keep making improvements and learn from the past. In the town of Niagara, Olivia Proya, 7 Eyewitness News.
Okay, Olivia, thank you. The Niagara County SPCA has been vehemently defending itself. For the organization's full response to the allegations, head to our website, wkbw.com.